Snit, does tonight's outing just validate everything we've been saying about Kyle throughout the season?
Yeah, pretty much, and then some. Probably just weather the rain delay. Just how he went about, and that was huge for us. I mean, we needed to kind of get to our back end guys, and he did. That was pretty impressive what he did tonight.
Snit, the fewest wins in the majors in games in which you didn't homer, but it's October and you find a way.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I said. I think it's our 12th or 13th game we won all year without a homer, something like that. I mean, some crazy, but there's some really good at bats, man. It was tough sledding there for a long, long time, and we kind of things went our way there with Matt's hit and Austin's, and then Travis had just kind of three well-placed balls.
Hey, Snit, how's Ronald feeling? Was he close?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of, what they told me after, probably the best thing that happened was he scored, and when we had a little time to get him downstairs and check him out, and he was thrown into the cage, and I think the longer he was there, the more he started getting feeling back, and there's no structural damage or anything. It was just muscle, and by the time the inning was over, he had feeling back, and was I'm sure it's going to be sore. It's good, probably good. We got a day off tomorrow where they can treat him up, but the good news is there wasn't anything structural or anything like that upon our examination. So, but he did. It kind of stung him good, and he got his feeling back by the time the inning was over.
Snit, that inning obviously started with him getting hit and getting on, but once again, he's the kind of the spark and the beginning. I mean, what is it? We've seen him for years now.
No, I know.
What is it that he's always at the center?
Well, I mean, 'cause he's got so many weapons. His legs. I mean, the bat, the power, the whole thing. It's he can score from first on a double. I mean, it's a lot of things. I mean, he's just kind of that electric guy that does have that penchant for kind of igniting things, especially this time of year when he gets on. I mean, it's pretty good to get those guys coming in behind him.
Snit, you talk about offensive things that were sparked for the team. Talk about Dansby's catch.
Oh, yeah, well, we had two of them. We had Dansby's catch, which was unbelievable, and Austin's, too, on the tarp. I said they could be showing both of those for the next year. They're just unbelievable plays.
Brian, having been through this before, how much of a comfort is it to know in a game like this that, if you keep staying with it, then you can maybe make it go your way some way, somehow?
Yeah, no, and these guys do that. I mean, I think the biggest thing is when you get a start like Kyle's that, him putting that sixth inning down was huge, to go through the top half of their lineup. But it is. I mean, these guys, they showed last night. I mean, we brought the tying run to the plate, and a great catch kept, the next to the last out from getting to third with one out. And but it is good that these guys, they never quit. I mean, they don't get caught up in the moment. They keep a slow heartbeat and stay in the moment.
When you think about development and think about just 2 years ago, Kyle makes that start against the Dodgers, and then just to think about where he's come. How proud of you are to see a night like this? Oh,
no, it's awesome. As I was that World Series game and just his whole year, honestly, and tonight was just another one. But, it's just where he's come and how he's allowed himself to do that and what he's done and the adjustments he's made. And he's going to keep getting better, too. As he's out there and figures things out, he's going to continue to develop and grow and gain confidence. And with that arsenal that he's got, I mean, he can be a force for a long time.
Just to follow up, after obviously Max's performance last night and going against Zach Wheeler today, obviously was a big pressure moment. Did you at all have any concern about Kyle at all? And then with the long delay today, did you check on him periodically? In terms
no,
of
I'll be honest with you. I applaud Major League Baseball because we sat in on the on all the meetings. I thought they did a really good job. Chuck and his staff, and they kept us very well informed. Both myself and Rob and the GMs and everything, and I thought they did a great job in hanging in there. And when we came out of those meetings, we could let these guys know kind of what was going on with it in the time frame. So, you know, we didn't spring anything on them. We gave them plenty of time. Like I say, I applaud Major League Baseball for how they handled this, and you know, ended up being a beautiful evening. And Kyle, you know, himself. I mean, he's been through a lot. You know, now last almost a year. I mean, a lot of different situations, and handled everything unbelievable.
And I apologize if you answered this earlier, but game 3 and 4 about starters, what are you looking at right now?
A few guys. We got some options.
So the rookie reporter didn't ask it, right? Will Charlie start game 3?
Well, like I say, we're still chewing that chewing around, or whatever you say.
Rookie.
Yeah.
Snit, you guys have played in every environment there is. It's going to be crazy in Philly this weekend. You feel like that's something the guys are going to
Oh, yeah. Now, I've been in Philly when it's crazy. When I was a third base coach, every game we played there was nuts. And it's going to – and these guys are used to it. I mean, you know, it's going to be, I guess, the so-called hostile environment, obviously. But they're used to, you know, the last 2 nights, this whole year has been nuts here. It's been like playoff baseball pretty much the entire year here. And I don't think it's anything that they haven't been exposed to, and probably they'll feed off it like they feed off our fans here in Atlanta.
The last question.
Snit, long delay. What do players do nowadays during that time period? Like, what did you observe? You know, it's not like they're all
I don't
sitting
know. I
back
went
playing
through the
cards.
clubhouse a couple of times. I didn't know. I was kind of like, where is everybody? I don't know
Where
if
were
they,
they?
you know, I don't know. They went to McDonald's or something. It's all I know is I just try to keep. I'm an unbelievable grazer, so running into the food room and eating, and that's kind of what guys do. They eat. There's a couple of video games back there. Now they all got iPads and all that, so they keep themselves amused with the video games and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's a big room in there, and there's a lot of different options for them. But it is tough. I mean, you know, some of them will go take a nap, and, you know, when it's going to be to the extent of what we were, you know, seeing today. So, yeah, they just roam, I think.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Brian.
Okay, thanks.
Get started with Wright and Dansby Swanson.
We don't do orange.
Just go ahead and put that one. Yeah, right.
Dansby, I'll ask you once again, how proud are you of what Kyle has done all year, and especially tonight?
We keep talking about it so much, it's like I'm his second dad now. No, I'm just the maturation that I've seen over the last 7 years is pretty remarkable. He's always obviously had a good head on his shoulders and always had the ability, and it's just so amazing to watch someone go through obstacles, go through struggles, and come out on top. He's the epitome of it's not necessarily about becoming something that you aren't. It's always about getting back to, you know, who you truly are, and he has done that exceptionally well as a pitcher. Yeah, so I'm extremely proud of him, and I always said when we drafted him, I'm glad that we drafted him so I never had to face him again.
Kyle, this to your right, straight ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay. This was a big enough moment, obviously. Everybody knew how big this game was. What were you doing in the clubhouse during the rain delay, and how did you kind of keep it from, you know, getting to you?
Yeah, I like to keep it pretty loose anyways, so for me, I just kind of checked out a little bit and enjoyed the time with the teammates, you know, watched some TV, played on my phone a little bit, so just try to keep it light and loose. You know, once it was time for me once I had enough time, or I knew roughly when we were going to start, then I was able to get back into my normal pregame routine. But I think for me, it was just about keeping it chill and hanging out with the guys.
Randy said you were on the bike a lot too. Did you put in more miles than you normally would before?
Honestly, I was probably sitting there because I was bored. So no, is the short answer.
Dansby, you guys had the fewest wins in the majors in games you didn't homer. Obviously, no homers tonight. How did you guys find a way and come through with this one?
I think it's the beauty of playoff baseball. I mean, everything kind of goes out the window at this time of the year, and you just got to find ways to, to make things happen. And it was them yesterday with the 2 outs, and it was today. Ronnie with the hit by pitch, my walk, and then Ole putting together a great at bat, and same thing with Riles, and then Travis. An inning is never over, and tonight was an example of that. Obviously, our pitching was spectacular. You can't say enough about that, and I felt like we made all the plays that we needed to make on defense. It was just an all-around great baseball performance, and come postseason, man, it's all about pitching, defense, and timely hitting, and I feel like we checked all those boxes tonight.
Dansby, the catch. Walk us through the moment, and how do you practice for something like that?
Well, I was trying to throw a flag on myself because I feel like I made it look way harder than it needed to be. I was running out there, and I felt like maybe it was because it was a breaking ball, but it kind of like kept spinning away from me, and I slowed down just enough to check Rosario to see where he was so that we didn't, have a collision. And once he just kind of looked at me like, hey, brother, it's yours or nobody's, I just went for it. And practice, should get my parents in here because they threw me a cajillion balls just like that, like all the time growing up over my head. And I was like the epitome of the kid that would throw a tennis ball off a wall and ricochet it and, run and try and catch it over my shoulder. Probably throw a lot of tennis balls onto the field too that disrupt my brother's baseball games. But I feel like I've been doing that since I was, 5 years old.
Kyle, you've obviously used your curve a lot more this year, and looked like it was really something you felt super comfortable with tonight. I was wondering if you could talk about that generally, and then also specifically with that 3-pitch strikeout of Segura, where it was 3 straight curves.
Yeah, I think for me, last year it started, I went and looked at my numbers and found out that this was my best pitch. I knew it was my best pitch, but I just got away from it. So I really started to buy back into that last year, that this is my best pitch. I need to use it more. And then coming to this season, I started to do that, and I've had a lot of success with it. And really my last couple of outings, it's been a little off. So we spent some extra time this week trying to get it back to where it was early in the year. And for the most part, I was able to do that. I got a little bit more sweep to it. And to that at-bat, Segura, I was able to throw some really good ones to get him to chase off the plate. So I just have a lot of trust in it. I can throw it for a strike. I can try to put guys away with it. So sometimes I try to do a little too much with it at times, but it's just for me, it's almost like throwing a fastball. I have just as much confidence throwing that for a strike as any other pitch. So, just lots of repetitions, I think.
Kyle, we've talked a lot about confidence. How much different did you feel entering this start as opposed to the NLCS against the Dodgers 2 years ago? How much did just this year and last year also help you?
Yeah, night and day. Before I came in here, I joke. I said my last postseason start, I think I went 0.2 innings and 7 runs. So this was a good one for me. Just kind of, it's a small thing, but just kind of checking off another box. I had success in the postseason last year, but to do it as a start was, that was pretty cool to me. I think I've just worked on a lot of things this year, and it really just goes back to the confidence. I feel like I had the confidence to pitch at this stage. They're a really good lineup, and I knew that, but I knew that if I executed, then I was going to give myself a chance, and I really believe that. And again, I go back to Travis too. Travis called a great game. I have a lot of confidence in him, which allows me just to be free and just pitch. So that I give him a lot of credit as well. But yeah, it's crazy what confidence can do for you.
Dansby, we had 2 people just ask Snit who's going to start Game 3. He wouldn't tell us. Could you shed some light on that subject possibly, or who you'd like to see start Game 3?
Hey man, I don't make those decisions. They don't pay me those bucks to make those decisions. All I know is we have a tremendous pitching staff, and whoever they decide it's going to pitch is going to go out there and take the ball and do their job. We got faith in each and every one of the guys that's in that locker room, and I think that's just something that we thrive on here. Is just the confidence we have in one another, the confidence in Travis. I consistently say over and over again, I feel like he's the most underappreciated player in all of baseball. just what he's able to do with the pitching staff. The guy is remarkable. I've learned so much from him. But yeah, I mean, whoever takes the ball, we have a lot of confidence in them, and at the end of the day, we just got to go out and play our brand of baseball.
Do a couple more.
Yeah, Dansby, with Matt Olson, he homers in the Mets games, homers yesterday, has the hit off Hoskins' glove today. I mean, what have you just thought of the way he's really coming through when you guys need him?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all just kind of had, especially him, just kind of had that moment where it was like, man, whatever's happened has happened. Like, it's just time to go out and compete and win ball games. And you just feel that he's just kind of like really turned it into another gear. You know, I feel like his at bats are all competitive. He's he's laid off some tough pitches. You feel like when he's up there, he's going to come through in those moments, and that's just a testament to him and his work ethic. His confidence staying high throughout this season, no matter what's going on. He's obviously a huge piece for us and a key component of this team. So glad he's on our team, and he's one of a kind. And like I said, he's an awesome teammate and a guy that we know is going to thrive in moments like these.
Dansby, what did you think of Riley's play, and which one was better, yours or his?
I'll say his was better. I didn't have to dodge a tarp. I mean, the guy, I feel like, once again, very underappreciated defender, a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. The guy's a gamer. I mean, he just goes out there and competes, and like I said, I'm glad he's to my right, and I'm glad this guy's on the mound. Glad I have a lot of good teammates. So yeah.
Any last questions?
Yeah, for Kyle, just back to the Dansby catch and obviously Wright, but really we've seen good defense by the team all year. What does that do for a pitcher? Like, how important is that, knowing you have those type of players that can make those plays behind you?
For me, defense is everything. I get a lot of ground balls, so for me, that's my best friend is good defense. I try to get guys to put it on the ground, and then when they make catches like that, that's good too. But that's been one of my biggest weapons this year, I believe, is the defense. Like I said, sinkers, I'm going to get a lot of ground balls. I'm going to get more contact. I don't have a truly good swing and miss four-seam fastball, so I try to rely on these guys a lot, and they've been a huge piece of my success. And again, like I said, it's one of my best weapons I've had all year is their ability to defend.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dansby. Thank you.
Matt, how key was that, coming off a day like yesterday where you squandered opportunities just to go ahead and put the ball in play enough to make things happen there in the sixth?
Yeah, and Wheeler had his good stuff tonight, so I think it was pretty easy to tell early on that he was feeling good and was pretty crisp. So Kyle was the same. You knew that it could be a game that way of a couple runs could win it, and when guys are going like that, you just got to find a way to make something happen, and was able to squeak one through, and Riley had that little swing and bunt, and then Trav get one through the middle, and ended up being enough. Our pitchers did a hell of a job tonight.
Matt, you had a pretty good vantage point of Dansby and Austin's catches. What were you? I mean, this obviously is a fantastic plays.
Yeah, they were pretty similar too. Couple of crazy catches. Dansby going back, I think he thought Rosario was going to have the play at it at first. Rosario was pretty deep, so he had to, readjust and get back on it, and over the shoulder catch, and then Riley going up against the tarp and a weird angle. A couple great catches, and that's the kind of game it was tonight.
Matt, you've had a lot of good moments in this ballpark lately. The Mets series, today with the hit. How rewarding has this been for you?
Yeah, it's good. Everything now is about getting the team win, but it's always nice to have those moments. Just glad we were able to push a few across off Wheeler. Like I said, he had really good stuff tonight, I thought, and it was a good solid win.
I was talking with Michael Harris, and I asked him how special it was to get this first win at home at his home ballpark, and same for you. Was it kind of surreal or a full circle moment to do that with the Braves?
Yeah, it was good. That was a crazy atmosphere tonight. I don't know if it was a little extra rowdy, if some people had some extra time at the Battery, or But no, that was a crazy atmosphere. Loved it. You know, it's a big hats off to the fans for sticking around for that long. You know, we've come accustomed to it. At least I have. You know, these sellout crowds, and you know, I appreciate all the support that this city has for us, and we don't take it for granted.
What was your reaction when Acuna got hit, and do you feel like maybe that was a spark for you guys offensively, like you wanted to rally behind him, or?
You know, I don't think it was anything intentional or anything like that, but obviously worried at first when he's down for that long. It's a key guy. I mean, we know the talent that Ronald is, so I think we were worried. Glad to see him stick in. Sounds like he's doing all right, so was able to keep going, so that's good.
How impressed were you with Wright's performance tonight? We saw it throughout the year, but you know, here's a guy that came into the season, he completed 5 innings and just 5 of 14 career starts. Just to take it to another level again tonight, how impressive was that?
It was. Obviously, losing yesterday, it's a big game tonight, and for him to come out and kind of set the tone the way he did, he had all his stuff going. He was you know, doing little things that might go unnoticed, you know, throwing sharp breaking balls and hitters counts for strikes. You know, the sinker was good. He was doing it all, and the presence and the poise that he had to go along with it was really impressive.
Matt, you went through your lull in September. I asked Travis Darno about it yesterday, and he said throughout that you were still the same guy. You were still joking with the teammates and you know, just still being you. How did you kind of maintain through that and get to the point where we saw what we saw and you being the last NL Player of the Week, and then obviously what you did, you know, so far in this series?
Yeah, you know, that was probably one of the lower points of my baseball career, you know, performance-wise. But at the end of the day, you gotta be able to ride out the ups and downs the same. Try to be the same guy every day, and you know, we got good guys in there to know you got dudes behind you, and you know, it's a crazy game, and you're not going to be on the top the entire time, so you got to find a way to you know, stay as even as you can.
Any last questions?
You said the scene was electric, and it was for the Mets series too, but you know, growing up here and knowing playoff baseball, how cool was it to be on that side?
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, you know, the child in you is being a fan for a little bit, even when you're on the team. But you know, once the game starts, you push it to the side and you know, realize we got work to do.
Well, last 2 questions here.
Travis said that you won the fantasy football trades that were going on. What was that trade during the rain delay?
Yeah, there was a lot of negotiations going on. Myself being the GM, decided I needed to make a move, and I don't know if I want to name the players. I don't want to get roasted for it if it turns out bad, but felt like it was the right move, the right time.
Looking forward to Friday in Aaron Nola, and also what should be a hostile environment in Philadelphia. How do you prepare for that?
You know, just build off the momentum from tonight. You know, obviously another really good arm, guy we faced a lot. So, you know, get in the video room, watch how he likes to attack guys, and just try to build off what we did tonight.
Thank you, guys.